All right, guys, welcome to episode number 23 of the Browns Place podcast. I'm Jeremy,
I'm Ryan.
and let's get right into it. Preseason football, you still got another week left, I think it is.
For the
Um,
preseason, yeah, and then games start on the 5th.
and then games start, on the 5th or 7th or something like that? Yeah.
Yeah, September
So,
5th, I think.
um, Bears 4-0,
Enjoy it
but,
now. You
but
guys
they
actually
didn't,
don't look that bad.
but Williams didn't play on the other night,
Yeah,
on
he's not
Thursday
going
night.
to. He's not going to.
You got, you gotta put him in there.
They're not going to do it, dude. They're going to throw him in
Oh
there. They're going to
man,
throw him in the
you're gonna
fire.
you're gonna throw him in the fire, and then you're gonna say, "Oh well, he needs to gel, or he's rusty, or he's getting used to all these players." That's what you
Yeah,
had the whole spring for. That's what you had the preseason for, and I
it's a
absolutely
brutal,
hate this.
it's a
I
brutal
hate it.
division too.
Um, Especially they do it for baseball. They always, oh, spring training, blah blah blah. But half those guys are half-assing it, 2 weeks out of spring training, and then
Yeah,
just kind of going through the motion. You
yeah.
know.
But you don't
Get
want
your
him getting
pre
hurt either, though.
get your preseason work in though. But I mean not to play a game. So I think
Yeah,
he's played 2 out of the 4 games, but he hasn't played a full game.
yeah.
So there's another thing. What about your conditioning? So
Well, I think you
I
bank
mean,
on that probably in OTAs and stuff like
yeah,
that,
but
though.
OTAs and running and practice and you're not going full speed.
Remember, he's also a
So
quarterback too. It's not like he's a running back, so it's gonna be. I mean, he'll be running for his life. He'll be like a running back,
yeah.
but
But I don't agree with it. I think that you got to get them in there as many reps as possible in live game before, because otherwise you're going to start your season 0-6 and then you're screwed. So
well, I mean, I
I
don't even
absolutely
agree
hate it.
with rookie quarterbacks starting in general for a season, anyways. I always think they should ride the bench and learn
I,
and
I,
watch.
I, I do totally. I mean, unless if you have that one person, but I mean, I don't even know who that one person would be. You know, like Brady didn't do it. None of the
No,
None of the Hall of Famers really did it. Rodgers didn't do it. You know,
yeah,
Pat
I mean
didn't
like
do it.
Elway and Marino, they did it and stuff like that,
Those
but
guys, but I mean,
yeah,
you know,
Peyton did
um,
it, but
but yeah. So what else? Football. So what's going on with Brandon Ayuk? Still
I don't know. But
49er?
he was at the game today, so I think that pretty much seals it that they're gonna sign him. He's probably gonna
That's
get
what it looked
re-signed.
like because I saw that he went straight up to John Lynch and Shanahan and shook their hand and whatever. It looked
Yeah, and
pretty
then he came
friendly,
to
so
the.
it didn't look like it was like, hey, what are you doing here type of deal.
No, he's at the game right now
So
that they're playing in
yeah,
Vegas, so he's probably getting re-signed. Yeah, which is good. I mean, they need to re-sign both him and Trent. Trent probably more than Brandon.
yeah, but is there bad blood or is it just part of the business?
I think it's part. I think that you got to understand the situation. There are a lot of players on this team that are going to get paid and want to get paid.
And
Um,
how did they afford that?
well, they're
How
about
are
to
the
not
40
to. They're
how
okay
are the
right now.
49ers affording that?
I think they're okay now, but next season it's going to be problematic. So we'll see what happens. But there's going to be guys that because they're going to have to pay Brock next year. So then there's
Yeah,
going
what
to
are
be
you
guys where you're going to
and
lose Mooney
Brock's not going to
Ward.
be taking a discount. I
No, he's
mean,
not going to be cheap, especially if he plays well this year. He's probably going to be up towards the top. Um,
30, 40 probably at least.
oh, probably at
At
least 40.
least.
If he plays really well, it's going to be at least 40. Yeah.
Well, what's Daniel Brown get? What was he getting? Was he getting like 40 for
Daniel Jones? Daniel Jones?
Daniel Jones? Yeah,
Yeah, I think
40
he's
for
getting like
4?
over almost 40 million. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah, yeah.
so,
So, I
I
mean,
mean, anything like that, he's going to trump that,
well, I
you
saw
know?
something for Dax like 70. And then it's like,
Yeah,
holy
that's kind of
shit.
crazy. I mean, he had a good year last year, but that's crazy. That's crazy.
But
But
where
no,
do you
if
put
Brock
Purdy
plays well,
versus Dak?
I personally am putting Brock over Dak, but it's close. I think it's closer than some people. Like
So you're
people
paying
really hate
both
on
those
Dak
guys,
Prescott.
paying both those guys 70?
That's the thing. I don't know. I mean,
So
Brock had
how much is Purdy making
no,
this year? He's not even making a million, right? Is he like
no,
in the hundred
no. It's
thousand?
900,000. Yeah,
Nine hundred
or it's
thousand,
I
and then
think it's nine
and
hundred
then he's
thousand.
gonna jump up to 40
Yeah,
million plus.
he's
Yeah,
gonna get over
nice
50
pay
million
raise.
probably. Yeah, as the last pick, good for him. I mean, he earns every penny of it. You know, he plays well. He took us to the Super Bowl last year. Hopefully, he does it again this year.
Yeah, but
If
I
he
don't
does
want
it
to
again
hear
this year, oh, it's
I
gonna
don't
be.
want to hear him complaining about inflation or gas prices or anything like that. So,
I don't think the
uh,
guys that make 70 mil are too worried about it. They're probably pissed off about taxes, but that's about it. No,
yeah,
but
no, exactly. But I mean, yeah,
last year's
because
gonna
because
next
your
year.
groceries are higher price. Shut up.
Yeah, no, I don't think
Yeah,
that's a problem. I don't even think he goes grocery shopping. So, yeah,
yeah,
but
probably
next
not.
year will suck. There's going to be a lot of guys, especially on the defensive end. I mean, like our cornerback Moody Ward, he's not going to be back if we sign Brandon Ayuk, and then there's some other guys that aren't going to be back. But
So, do
you're
you take
keeping
any um, preseason? Do you take any? I mean, leverage into that. I mean, is that totally meaningless? Like if
what
you
do you
were
mean?
4-0, like if you're 4-0
Mhm.
in the preseason, say 5-0 in the preseason, right? Because you're probably 5 games. Does that mean that you're going to be a pretty good team?
No, that doesn't mean anything to me.
But what if
There's aspects, but
you were 0-5 in
that
preseason?
doesn't mean anything either.
Still no.
No, it depends on how it is though. So there's teams like the Steelers that don't look good. But that's because both of their
Well, they can't
quarterbacks
even
don't look
decide
good,
which
and then
one's QB1, right? Yeah.
yeah, that doesn't look good. But if you're talking like if the Chiefs were to go 0-3 or 0-4, however many games they play, I don't think anybody's not thinking the Chiefs are going to go back to the Super Bowl.
Yeah.
There's just levels. There's it's just like with the Bears. You guys going 4-0, but you're not starting your main quarterback.
But
I mean,
I would be more worried about going 0-4 than 4-0,
yeah.
I
Well,
think.
yeah,
You know.
of course, yeah, yeah. You don't
Um
want to go winless. That's not a good
yeah.
start to your year. Yeah,
But I'm, having a perfect preseason. I'm not getting my hopes up either. I'm not saying,
no,
oh yeah, we're gonna go
no,
17-0 and
yeah,
we're winning. Put us down for the Super Bowl.
yeah. I mean, I think
That's
you
just
probably. I
you
mean,
know,
they want to win every game, and in preseason you win every game. That's probably a good flow into the season. Stuff like that keeps morale high, but nobody cares. Nobody's playing really even anyway, so
exactly
it
when
doesn't
your
matter.
franchise quarterback's not even playing. So, all right. So
Franchise.
yeah, football season's right around the corner. So yeah, another probably one more. Is there one more preseason week?
Mm, I think.
Yeah. So one more preseason,
No. I think this is the last
or
week,
that
and
was
then
it.
I
Okay.
think this is the last week, and then they're off next week, and then into the season the week after.
And then the weekend starts after. So
Yeah.
okay. Um. So yeah, football's get. Oh, college football starts tomorrow, right?
Yeah. College
Yeah.
football tomorrow. Yeah.
Yeah.
Pretty
So I
cool.
mean, you got to.
Michigan's not number one either. They
Yeah.
got
That's
Georgia at number one.
yeah.
Yeah.
Um. You get rid of the coach, get rid of the quarterback,
Yeah, it's understandable.
probably.
There
Yeah.
was there were some big
Um.
names that left Michigan, so
You would hope that hopefully, it's the program and whoever goes can still, you know, the program still has that foundation. But yeah,
and this is the
you know.
new I think this is the new playoff format this year too. They got the 12 team, I think, this year rather
Is
than
it really?
before. Yeah, I think that's extended. There's
Okay.
also no Pac-12 anymore. Saban's
Yeah.
gone. So
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
big changes.
I
We'll
know.
see what
What
happens.
What about like all the coaches not coaching right now? So you got Nick Saban not coaching. You got Bill Belichick not coaching. You got Pete Carroll going back and teach at USC.
Yeah.
Um, I mean, you got some big coaches out there that aren't coaching. You know,
It's a new
it's,
era. I mean, I think Saban could have came back. I think Bill could have gone somewhere too.
does
But
Saban
Pete
go
Carroll
for
was
a pro
struggling for a
job or
while.
no? Does he stay at college level? Is
Nick
he one of
Saban? No,
those
don't leave.
where?
Don't leave. Don't leave. Yeah, no, don't leave. Don't go anywhere.
No, I mean, would say is he like one of those like a Coach K or a Rick Pitino where you are excel at college, but
Yeah.
you might suck at pro?
Well, we saw him suck in pro. It wasn't
So
good. So yeah, I think plus he's a god at Alabama. So you might as well. I mean, he already left Alabama, so there's no point coming back. I
yeah,
think he's done. I don't think
but I
he's
mean,
coming back anymore.
Would he go for another college job, or is he waiting for a pro job?
I think if he was to go anywhere, it would be to another cup.
You think you?
I
Well,
I don't know if it wasn't Alabama, then I think he probably is going to a different to probably. God, I don't know. I would say probably
I
pro. Why go to
I
another
would,
college? I guess
that's what I was
automatically.
saying. I would think it would have to be pro because I mean, are you going to go what a Georgia or a Michigan? You're going to want to go to a top team, right? You're not going to
Yeah,
want to start all over.
yeah.
Same thing with like Belichick. He's not going to want to go from, the pinnacle to college or whatever.
Nah,
He's gonna want to go probably Cowboys once they fire um,
McCarthy.
McCarthy. So.
Yeah,
Um, but yeah, I don't know. So, all right. So yeah, college football starts tomorrow. That's just, it's crazy that football's just come quick right around the corner. I mean,
been a
you get
quick
rid of,
summer here.
basketball and, you know, playoffs and then, hockey and then the Olympics and then all of a sudden it's football. So, which is
Yep.
good. Um, all right,
Yeah.
baseball. What do we got for baseball? So we
Final
got
push.
Yeah, so our next 11 games, so we just had what, 4 games. So starting this week, we had 15 games, and our next 15, or our next 11 games. Our next 11 games in the next 2 weeks or whatever are teams below 500.
Yeah, you have.
So
I think it's the second easiest schedule or easiest
yeah,
schedule.
so we're 1 game under 500. We're a game back behind you guys. We're 5.5 out. Um, so if we're gonna make a push, this next 11 games, we need to go 8-3 type of deal, or maybe 9-2 type of
I would
deal.
argue, yeah,
This
probably
needs,
like 9-2,
you
10 and
know,
one
this
even.
need
It's going
this
to be
needs
a
to be a
huge
big
push.
push.
Yeah,
Um, at least you got to win series. You got to win. We beat the Tigers 2 out of 3. We won tonight against the Marlins. So I mean, and then we got Pittsburgh and then Washington and
yeah,
then back home for Pittsburgh again.
yeah.
So
I would
so
argue
yeah,
you're in sweep territory. You need to
you
sweep
think we need
these
a
series.
sweep? You think we need to go 11-0? I don't
Yeah,
know if we need to go
because
11. I think nine
remember
and two
you're
at least, eight and
because
three
what
at
are
the
you
very most,
because what are you 4.5 back of the third
five and
spot?
a half,
5.5
five
back?
and a half.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's sweep territory and luck. You need to sweep and probably and hope that the Braves fall, um, go through a bad stretch because
yeah, five and a
it's
half
gonna be tough.
right now. Yeah,
And that's just the Braves. You're talking
so
Mets, Giants. I mean, don't worry about the Giants; they're not gonna make it. But the Mets and the Braves,
well, that's the problem
they're
is
not going
you
anywhere.
know you get the Braves and then Mets are 2 games back, and then after that
Yeah,
it's Giants 4.5, and then us. So,
yeah,
um, but yeah, I think we need to go. What are we in our last 10? 5-5. So I mean, we got to be better than that.
yeah.
So
You can't go
I,
5-5.
I think we got to be 11 games, no worse than 8-3,
Yeah, no, you got to
no
be
worse.
like D-backs
So
level
yeah,
right now. Like
yeah,
you got to be
yeah.
hot, hot.
So um, what about the Seattle Mariners firing their coach now?
Yeah, yeah.
Scott
Fired him.
Service has been around a while. I
Yeah.
mean, because they were leading for a while, but now, I mean, they're 7 games back in the wild card. They're not
And
going to make it.
that offense is bad, bad, like
But I mean,
real bad.
you pick up Randy, right?
Yeah, he's
I
not doing
mean,
nothing.
yeah.
That's just a bad
Um,
ballpark. It's tough. That's a tough ballpark to hit out of. It's brutal there.
so right now you got Yankees leading by 1.5 games over Baltimore. Um, Cleveland leading 1 game over Kansas City, 2 games over to the Twins. Houston leading by 5 games over the Mariners, and Houston did not start well. I mean, there was
And
when
they're
you were
missing.
talking about they were
Yeah,
like in the cellar dweller type of deal.
yeah,
And then you get Phillies, and then Braves 5 games back, Mets, 7 games back. You got Milwaukee, that's pretty much done because next
yeah,
team is 9.5 back. And so then West, you got the Dodgers, and then you got the D-backs 3.5, and the Padres 4.5.
yeah. That
So
division got close all of a sudden. Got
yeah,
real
they were
close.
Diamondbacks and Padres did a little push there. So
Just got red
um,
hot. Yeah,
we'll see what happens. But if you look, Dodgers last 10, 7-3. D-backs 7-3. Padres 6-4. So you really
Yeah.
didn't pick up anything in the last 10 games, you know.
No, I mean it's just since
Um,
the All-Star break where
yeah.
both those teams were just red hot. But now it's the Dodgers to lose,
Oh,
really.
yeah, for
So
sure.
um,
So,
as long as they maintain pace, they're gonna win it again.
so right now for wild card, you got Baltimore and Kansas City, and then National League you got Diamondbacks and Padres.
What are the third teams in the AL?
A third team is Twins,
Hmm.
and then Braves.
And Braves, yeah.
So, yeah. So,
It's a tight race.
yeah. No, this is where it gets. I mean, you got the dog days of summer or whatever it is. I mean, you gotta. This is your big push for some of these teams. You
Yeah.
know. So, um, what else baseball wise? Anything else baseball wise?
No,
I
not
had a
really. I
couple
mean,
little things. They're not so much baseball oriented. Um, let's see. Oh, there is um 10 teams that have pinstripes on their uniforms.
can
Can
I
you
name
name
them?
them? Yeah.
Like their base uniforms?
Yeah.
Yankees, obviously.
Yeah.
Um, White Sox.
Yeah.
Um, Cubs.
Yeah.
Um, Pinstripes. We roll through. There's none in the West.
Mm,
There. Oh, the Rockies do, don't they? Yeah, I guess the
yeah.
Rockies do.
And there's one more.
Um, are the D-backs pinstripes? I thought they were
No.
still.
No.
Oh, I guess the Padres. Yeah, all right.
Yeah.
I guess the
Yeah.
Padres. I don't know. You could tell me the rest because I just blew four guesses right there. So know the rest of
Phillies,
them. Yeah, Phillies.
Mets,
Yeah, both New York teams.
Twins,
Um.
Padres, Rockies, Brewers.
Oh yeah, I guess it is.
Yeah. And then Marlins. So,
Oh, that one I would have never gotten. I never knew
no?
they had pinstripes.
Yeah.
Not anymore. I know their
So,
old ones did, but I know their new ones did. I guess.
so
Oh,
baseball. So Monday, you got a player that's going to play for two teams in
yeah, Danny
one
Jansen.
day.
Yeah,
Yeah. Isn't that
yeah, pretty
crazy?
crazy. Yeah, pretty wild.
So he's
First
going to,
time ever. Yeah.
yeah, so he's going to play for the Blue Jays for the first game because it got canceled or
hmm
suspended. And then he's going to catch for the Red Sox on game two. So
Yeah, and it's
I thought that
catching his
was,
at bat too. Yeah.
yeah, I thought that was pretty cool. So, um, Olympics, this is kind of Olympic news that we kind of, breakdancing will not return for 2028 LA
Yeah.
Olympics. Thank
Yeah.
God. Okay.
Yeah.
Um, here's a quick thing. Choose one that you would want for life. 50% off rent, one free vacation per year, best friend wins lottery, or power to control the weather.
It's either rent or vacation. Or what was the
What
first
about
one?
best friend's lottery? So 50% off rent for life, one free
Yeah.
vacation per year. Your best friend wins the lottery, or power to control the weather.
I'm selfish. What does it matter if my best friend wins the lottery? I'm not
Well,
winning the
hopefully he
lottery.
gives you something.
I know you know my best friends. He's not gonna give me nothing. No. Yeah,
Yeah, I
no, I'd
guess it
probably do the
depends on who your best friends are. So,
yeah, I'd probably do the
um,
rent one. The rent one would be crazy. Vacation would be nice too, though.
yeah. So, okay. There's a couple others that I had, but we'll get to those later. Oh no, we're still talking baseball. So, real quick, best MLB players not in the Hall of Fame.
Mm.
There's five. Five.
You have five, or you just found a list
There's
with five?
there's five on the list. Yeah, they did a list.
Can I name them?
Can you name them? And it's not like Barry, and it's not Roger.
It's not though.
None of none of the steroid guys.
Oh, well then this is a stupid list. But
It's a
okay,
tough
so
list.
yeah, the
But
non-juice guys, it's probably Pete,
yeah,
and
yeah, yep.
then
Pete's number two.
Pete's number two.
Yep.
Who the hell's number one?
This list surprised me
Are these players
because we
that
were
like I would know, or are these like old old?
there's there's a couple old ones, but then there's a couple that you would know
Hmm, that aren't in the Hall of Fame, and
that
it's not
aren't
like
in the Hall of
they're not
Fame.
eligible yet, kind of thing, right?
Oh no, they're
They're
eligible, and
eligible.
they
Okay,
probably
I
have,
want to make sure
you
it's not
know,
like pull holes or something,
at standards now. They probably, you know, have the standards.
but they expired. Um, okay,
Yeah,
so Pete.
two are old, and then two are one's a little more recent, one's a little like 80 90s. And I was surprised.
80,
I'm surprised that he wasn't in.
80 90s. Surprise
Yeah,
non-Jews. Hmm.
you give up?
Yeah, I can only think of Pete.
Okay, so Shoeless Joe.
Oh, because he cheated. Yeah. Okay. Shoeless.
Okay,
Okay.
but he was on the list, even
Right.
though they didn't put Roger or any of the other guys, but they still put Shoeless Joe.
Yeah.
Roger Maris.
I was gonna say him, but I wasn't sure if he wasn't in or not. I was
No.
thinking about Maris. Okay.
Kurt Schilling,
Yeah. I knew that he's
not
not
on
in
the
yet.
list. Not in. And Dale Murphy, one of
Dale
the
Murphy, I would have never
best,
guessed.
one of the best outfielders
Yeah.
in like the 80s, 90s decades. You
No.
know, I was absolutely surprised that he was not in the Hall of Fame because I thought he
Yeah.
had already been in.
You know who I
So
just found out is in the Hall of Fame? Edgar Martinez,
he just got in recently, right? Last year,
2019.
or
2019.
was it, oh,
On
19?
his
Oh,
on his 10th ballot. Yeah.
yeah. Um, and then here's another quick one: five sports that the USA has never medaled in for Olympics:
Oh,
table tennis,
I just saw this. Yeah.
badminton, handball, rhythmic rhythmic gymnastics, and trampoline. So
Yeah.
I guess we're not favored to win.
The
Yeah.
non-sports. No
So
offense.
all right.
Yeah.
So yeah, the baseball thing was just it just shocked me on that. So
Yeah.
a couple of those names, especially like Roger Maris too. So
Yeah, I wasn't sure if he was in or not. But I remember that
yeah,
kind of being a talk during Judge, well, he's doing it now, but when Judge was trying to break the record, or did break
yeah.
the record, that was a thing. But yeah, Mark
And
Ramirez.
so there was, well, we might as well talk about it now. There was just an alert about Shohei, one home run
Yeah.
away from 40-40.
Yeah,
So
it'll be sixth or seventh player to ever do it, or ninth or
yeah,
something like that. Yeah.
so I mean,
Pretty
and
cool.
it's what, the third week of August, so he still got 2 more weeks of August and then all of September. So could he
Yeah,
get
no,
50-50?
he might do 50-50. He very well could.
So yeah,
But
yeah.
I think we're going to start. We saw it last year. I think we're going to start seeing this probably every
You
year.
think we're going to see more
Guy
50,
do it.
50-50s?
Yeah,
40-40?
I think this
40-40 is going
club
to
is
be the
incredible.
norm?
I don't know about norm, but it's kind of like I think this club is going to be. It's going to lose some value here pretty soon because the new base stealing rules, and then just the way guys are, where the game is, where guys are throwing so much harder, they're hitting it harder. Um,
Yeah.
and the ball just carrying. I think we're going to start seeing some this
So if
this
Ellie De La
this
Cruz
club
could
kind
hit
of.
home runs, he could be a
I mean, he has
80-80
20.
guy.
Yeah,
Yeah, but how many steals does he have?
and he's like 60 or something like that.
Yeah, that's what I'm
But
saying. So
it's just like Acuna, Ron
yeah,
could when he's fully gone, very well could do 50-50. I don't know about 60, but
so 50-50. That's just, oh,
it's
holy
pretty
crap.
nuts. Yeah.
So all right, you got anything else for baseball? That's it.
No, I think that's it.
Okay. We talked NFL, college football, baseball. No basketball going on. No NBA. They're pretty much not for another
No,
couple
not yet.
months still. Yeah.
Yeah,
The Dub.
yeah.
Watch
Dub's
out for
going
the
on.
Dub.
They're wrapping up soon. Here, I mean,
So I
not
think we
soon,
got
but
6 or 8 more games left until playoffs.
yeah,
So
yeah, it's coming up.
um,
Liberty's already clinched, right? They already clinched their
yeah, yeah,
playoff berth.
yeah,
So
yeah. Um, Angel Reese back to back 20 rebound games.
yeah,
Another one tonight. 20
Yeah,
and I think 13 points. So,
yeah. This
um,
Olympic break
for,
is big. It's a
no,
big thing for
especially
athletes.
for the rookies, especially for like,
Yeah,
because I mean, you figure Caitlin Clark was playing basketball for almost a year straight,
yeah,
you know, so without a break. So yeah, that month off was definitely the longest that they've had. So,
yeah,
um, you know, no, I think it was perfect for a lot of people for it. So, um, so yeah, playoff push. Get Fever. Sky. Some of those teams. I
yeah.
think the Dream aren't too far out. So yeah, we'll have to see. Um, I'll save that for our last segment. You got anything
Cece's
else
getting
for Dougie?
some MVP nods right now. They're calling for her to get MVP.
Yeah, I mean, do you?
It's out of line.
Yeah, I mean,
It's
I
out of
don't.
line.
Yeah, I mean,
She's
give
nowhere
her
near it.
the give her the Rookie of the Year, but
Yeah, absolutely.
MVP. I mean, I don't see Asia, not winning that thing
She's got 27 and
unanimously.
12. Yeah, and then
You
all
know,
the defense too. Yeah,
you know, yeah, you could say there's probably a couple people up there, but I think she's got that thing locked up. If she doesn't, then I'd say, you know, there's some stupidness going on. But
yeah.
yeah, no, she's definitely. I think she would, you know, good for her. What else you got for Dub? Anything else, Dub?
That's it. We'll see how
Uh,
it finishes.
tennis? Anything tennis going on?
U.S. Open.
They just
It's
had
going on right now.
they just had the Cincinnati Open or last week, I think it was, and
Mm-hmm.
now
Mm-hmm.
U.S. Open starting up. You
Yep.
um,
U.S. Open for the next
and
couple weeks.
yeah, yeah. So in New York on grass, right? So
Hard
no,
court.
not hard court. It is hard
Yeah,
court.
it's on hard court.
So
This one.
because
So
Wimbledon's the only grass one, right? I think it is.
the only
Isn't it
major
Wimbledon?
grass one. Yeah,
Yeah, yeah,
yeah, yeah.
yeah. So who do you have favored for? It's got to be
For
Carlos for the men's, right?
the singles, yeah, I think it's Carlos, and then I think I don't know if she is favored, but you got to think probably Coco's going to be there because she won it last year. I don't know who's favored. It's probably Iga or Arena that are favored right
Arena,
now.
yeah, yeah. Well, I think
Yeah, yeah.
didn't Arena just win the
She just won
Cincinnati one?
Cincinnati, right?
Yeah,
Yeah, yeah.
so
Against Jess, yeah.
that's a pretty
Um,
good tune-up. So yeah,
yeah. But yeah, it's got to be
all right,
Carlos probably. It'll be Carlos and
yeah,
Djokovic again. I'm sure.
probably, yeah.
Yeah.
All right, golf. What do we got for golf? You got the ladies over
BMW.
doing the ladies at the Open
Hmm.
right now. I
Yeah,
think
they got
Nelly's
their Open.
leading. Yeah,
Is she
I think
leading?
it's
I thought she was one back.
Nelly.
Is she
Yeah,
leading now?
I think
Nice.
she's leading now, and then Lillian View, and then Charlie Hall. I
Charlie
think
Hall.
is the
Yeah.
yeah Charlie
At
Hall,
the old
man.
course. Yeah.
Yeah, on the tee box, smoking her
Yeah, she's
cigarette.
ripping darts. Yeah, she's ripping darts and she's hitting bombs. Yeah, she's cool.
Oh,
She's
that's
a dog.
crazy. She don't care.
Yeah,
She's just lighting it up. And I guess that
yeah.
was one of the things, like in the Olympics, they wouldn't. I guess there was no smoking or whatever, so she couldn't smoke there when she was at the Olympics. But yeah, it's just you. I mean, it's like John Daly-ish, just lighting it up
It
and
is.
smoke them if you got them, and
Yeah,
hit bombs
she's
and light it
balling.
up. So yeah,
Yeah, she's
no,
balling
that's
out too. So
cool. I
it's
mean,
pretty cool.
I just didn't picture. I wouldn't picture her as being one of the types that would be, you know, lighting up a cigarette.
Yeah, she's
But yeah,
ripping darts out there
she's just.
at the old course.
So how are you? So we're talking about golf. What are you? How do you feel about going and watching as a spectator, but wearing golf shoes?
No, I didn't do it
There's a
when I went.
thing. Yeah, there's a thing where like people and guys, yeah, I mean you wear your khaki shorts and your polos or whatever, but then they're
Yeah, yeah,
wearing golf shoes. And
yeah.
it's
No,
not like
that's
you're gonna get
you're
the
not
chance
playing.
to play. Yeah, it's not
Yeah,
like they're gonna call you and say, "Hey, hit this tee shot." What are you doing wearing golf shoes?
no,
And
yeah,
it's
that's
not like
stupid.
it's like the casual Oli Kais and those type of shoes. I mean, they're actually the old school, traditional golf shoes. It's like, why? What are you doing?
No, that's stupid. That's stupid. That's
So
stupid. I would never do
yeah,
that.
I didn't get that. So um, all right, what else you got? Football, basketball, baseball, any other sports going on?
Well, men's golf going on. They're at the BMW
Men's
Championship
golf,
right
yep,
now.
yep. Well, Hideki
Hideki had to
pulled out,
drop
right?
out. Yeah, he had to
And
drop out
he
because,
he just won the St. Jude's, right?
yep, he just won and just won
So
bronze in the Olympics. So he's in good shape right now. But yeah, it's crazy.
so who was it? I think JT. He because there's the whole dilemma right now about who's going to be the golfer of the year. Is it
Yeah,
X or is it Scotty? You know,
yeah,
Scotty wins 6 tournaments. You win the Masters. You win a gold medal. I
yeah.
mean, that's pretty tough to take away. But then you have X, who's won two, oh, um,
Majors. Yeah.
majors. You know, um, and it's not like he hasn't won anything else. But I mean, does 2 majors equal more than 6 wins?
Yeah, I think we
I
talked
don't
about this last
know.
time. I think you go win the Masters, the Players, and a gold medal. I think that plus the other four tournaments, because I think he's 6 or 7, whatever he's at. Um, I think you do all that. That probably puts you in. I think that probably gets you Player of the Year. I think it'll depend how it ends, but
So does he have to win? So here's the thing. So does Scotty have to win the FedEx Cup to be Player of the Year?
no. But if X wins it, it'll make it weird.
See what I mean?
But like
So
if
so so if
it's
X does
different now.
win it,
So and he loves Eastlake too. He might, but
so if, so if he wins the FedEx Cup,
yeah,
does that override Scotty's year?
I still don't think so. It depends on where Scott. If Scotty gets cut, well, there's no cut. I don't think. But if Scotty finishes dead last and X wins, that'll probably make it interesting. But if Scotty's two and they go to a playoff and they lose, I don't think that pushes it over.
Hmm. I
That
don't know.
probably
It's
wouldn't. It's
interesting.
still,
I mean, some people are just like, oh, Scotty, 6 wins, plus, the Masters, and then plus the gold medal. But then some people are just like, hey, X has got 2 majors,
two majors. Yeah,
you know,
two
you
majors is
know.
crazy.
Yeah, no, that's crazy. So I don't know. It'll be interesting to see. So,
Yeah,
um, it's almost like if you don't win it, though, you have a great year, but then if you don't win the FedEx Cup, does that? It's like you've lost everything just because you didn't win the FedEx.
I mean he didn't lose everything. I think he won quite a lot, but
But I
um,
mean, you don't get Player of the Year.
if Scotty doesn't win a FedEx, I think he
Yeah.
still probably wins Player of the Year. It would take like a torrential downfall for him to not win Player of the Year. I think. And again, this
Okay.
like X has to win FedEx in order to get Player of the Year. I think, in my opinion.
And then, is it fair that like you win these tournaments and you get the points and you get placed, but then what does it do for you?
Well, it gets you.
It's not.
Okay, so I saw this because Scotty doesn't like it, right?
Yeah,
My
yeah,
thing
yeah, yeah.
is, what other sport though do you go into a playoff and they just give you the win?
I mean, do you get extra strokes? Is that what you want? Do you get like, you know,
Yeah,
five
he shoots.
strokes, or is
Yeah,
it,
well, he starts off in the lead and he's 2 strokes ahead, right?
yeah.
So now it's basically hold on and just let them catch you. So it is an advantage still. Um, but yeah, I saw Scotty complain about it. I mean, I understand his point, but what other sport is like that in the playoffs? You still got to win. So
Yeah, I mean, in
that's my
baseball,
kind of take on it.
or even basketball, you could be the best team in, you know, during the season, but then get bounced out in the
We see
playoffs.
it. Yeah, we see it all the time.
So
We see
yeah,
it in baseball all the
yeah,
time. So in basketball
yeah.
and all these sports. So
So,
I think I understand where he's coming from. It is kind of
but I
it
mean,
kind of
golf, there's no home
devalues
field
it.
advantage either, though. You don't,
No, there's
you know.
not, and it's also
So
it's different, right? It's a different
yeah,
game.
yeah.
But you start out 2 strokes ahead. It's not a ton, but that's a lot. It's a
So
lot.
do you get more strokes?
What do you mean? Like you think
You
it'll
get like,
improve it?
yeah, you get 5 strokes or 10
No,
strokes?
no, because then
You
it's not
know?
going to be competitive again, and then people aren't going to care about it in the same. It's gonna no. I think two strokes is great. It makes it interesting, and oftentimes lately, like the last few years, guys that start in first, they don't win it. So we'll see what
Oh yeah, you
happens.
could lose 2 strokes in one hole. So I mean, yeah,
Yeah,
you get a
so
double
it kind of
bogey and
falls
you're
apart.
screwed.
And
So,
the conditions suck
um,
always because it's
yeah,
hot, it's humid, and it's tough. It's a tough course. So we'll see
yeah.
what happens. I like it.
Um, I don't know if we talked about this before. So golf, there's a thing post. So 20% of golfers never break 100.
Yeah, we talked about this
45%. Did we talk about the 45%
last
never
week. Yeah,
break?
we talked about
Yeah,
this last
okay.
week. Yeah.
Okay. I wasn't sure if we talked about this before. So, I thought that was interesting.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm with you. I got to see where Scotty, comes in. If Scotty doesn't win and X doesn't win, I think it automatically goes to Scotty. Um, it'd be interesting if X wins and then Scotty's not at the top. Just, where those votes go. So it's just, I
Yeah.
don't know. So,
Yeah.
yeah, it'll be interesting to see. All right, anything else golf wise? What else you
No,
got?
I think that's
All
it.
right, entertainment. What do we got in entertainment? Is that it for sports? We went through sports pretty quick, but yeah. Um,
That's pretty much it for sports, right? Yeah.
entertainment. What do we got for entertainment? You got
Nothing
J
more
Lo and Ben
gossip.
breaking up,
Yeah, we bring that up
filed for
every year.
divorce
Yeah,
finally. Well,
they finally
finally,
did it. Yeah,
they
because it's
finally
always been
filed for
lingering. Yeah.
divorce. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. So, what else was there? There was something that I saw. Um, so what does J Lo do now? I guess. I mean,
Bask in the billions of dollars she has. I think she'll be all right.
I guess, right? And Taylor Swift, her Euro tour or Eurus tour just finished up. So,
Officially, yeah, all
so
done.
now she's done with that. So, what else entertainment was?
Yeah, that's pretty much it. Not a whole lot going on. Um,
No?
yeah, not right now. More towards the end of the year,
Okay.
there will be more.
Yeah. Okay. I had some more gossip stuff, but I can't remember. It was like tweets like A-Rod tweeted something about J-Lo or like Jennifer Garner says that she's still dating her guy and she's not going back to Ben and you but yeah,
Yeah.
I don't know. So, all right, what about our last segment? Gotta be better. You got anything? I've got a few.
Um, I did have no, actually, I don't think I had anyone. Nobody
No?
that stood out at least. Well, no, that's
Well,
not true. I do.
I got an easy one. I'll start off. Going to a professional event, a sporting event, say like, Cubs and Giants or whatever, or
Mhm.
Niners and Bears or whatever. I don't know why this bothers me so much, but I absolutely hate to see people in other jerseys at that event. Just because you have
Yeah.
a jersey of the Yankees, why are you wearing it to a Cubs White Sox game?
Unless it's
You
that
know?
player, like an old player that played for,
No,
like,
but they're not.
no, I think that's
No,
fine. If you're wearing,
that I get. Yeah, I mean,
oh, yeah,
if
yeah,
you got
no,
an
yeah.
old
No,
Otani,
yeah, yeah,
and
yeah.
now he's a Dodger or whatever, and
Right, right,
you
right.
go, yeah, that I can get. But
Yeah,
you're wearing a Yankees or a Twins or you know
yeah,
Padres or whatever, and you're not, and that team's not even playing, and none of those players are even there. It's like, what are
yeah,
you
it's
doing?
dumb.
I just don't get that. I've always hated that, and it's just always bugged me for some reason. I don't know why, but
Yeah, it's dumb.
you
I don't
just
understand it.
and it's the same thing for hats. If you're at a Cubs Giant or a Cubs White Sox, don't be wearing a Toronto Blue Jays hat. You know, don't
Yeah,
wear a hat at all if that's the case. I just,
yeah,
I don't
I
know.
agree.
Simone Biles.
Okay, what about her? What'd she do now?
So her boyfriend, Jonathan Owens.
Mm-hmm.
Do you know what team he
For the
plays
Bears?
for?
The Bears?
So she shows up in a Packers jacket.
Isn't she from there? No, she's from Houston.
She's
Is she
from
not from there?
Texas. I guess he was on the Packers last year.
Yeah, it used to be. Yeah. Yeah, yeah, you got to be better than that.
Um,
Yeah, can't
I
do
don't
that.
want to see. I don't want to see you wearing a Packers jacket
Nah.
to a Bears
Yeah, you can't
game.
do.
As much
Yeah, you
as
can't do that.
Aaron Rodgers tells me that he owns us and the Packers own us, I don't want you to rub it wearing your boyfriend's, boyfriend's wearing a Bears jersey and you're over on the sideline wearing a Packers jacket. Get
Yeah,
a
she
new
could get a
jacket.
Bears jacket. Yeah, she'll get a Bears
Yeah,
jacket from
get a
him, I'm
new.
sure.
Someone get her a new jacket. So,
Yeah, I agree.
um, yeah, fans are just all over about throw it out and
Yeah.
just someone,
Yeah, that's
whoever, I
crazy.
don't know. You would
Crazy
think
coming
even
from
her
the GOAT.
boyfriend would
Yeah.
say, yeah, you'd think her boyfriend would say, I don't know if you should be wearing that one,
Yeah.
or hey, how about this jersey instead with my name on it or
Maybe it's
something. But
scary to speak up to the GOAT, you know? I don't know. I don't know. He's got 2 feet on her, but I don't know. Scared to speak up about it, but
I don't
you gotta tell her.
hide, hide the jacket and lay something else out instead. No,
Yeah,
I don't know
burn it
where
or
it went. I don't
something.
know.
I don't know.
But yeah, you can't be wearing a, especially a Packers. If you wear, again, it kind of goes to the whole, wear the team that you're rooting for. But I do not want to see a Packers jacket there.
No, that can't happen.
You know,
That can't happen. That
you
can't happen.
the other one, Cheryl Swoops. She is just. You want to?
What's she
How do I
saying?
say? How do I say this without being trying to be politically correct? I think she is almost not. I mean, she's got clear hate for Caitlyn, but I think
Mm.
it's almost a racist hate for Caitlyn, Cece. So she went
What's
on
she
her
say?
podcast and she talked about the Fever and how good of a team they are, and named every player on that team on how deserving they are to make the playoffs. But she did not mention Cece.
First of all, she's wrong because that team's not good. Um,
Well, that's the other thing because those players last year were all on that same team, and where were they last year?
yeah, and they still have
They
a
got
losing record
they got the
now.
first pick. They got the first pick of the draft this year.
Yeah.
So and then so Stephen A called her up on it and said, hey, you got this hate for blah 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 CC, and and it's not like the first time, right? It's
No,
been
no, no, no. Yeah.
ongoing. And so he kind of called her out on it, and she was like, "Well, you didn't listen to the whole podcast." She's like, I named those, specific women just because I have a relationship with those women. Well, maybe you should reach out and have a relationship with Cece. You know, I just
Yeah.
she's for some reason, and there's a bunch of people for some reason they have this hatred for her that I just don't get. I just
It's
don't
always
get it.
like that when there's great players, though. I can only think of like Michael Jordan. That wasn't universally hated, but I bet you, like at the time, I bet you rival teams probably hated him, but I don't think anybody universally hated him, and that's probably the only one. LeBron was like that, everybody hated him. Tom Brady's like that, everybody hated him. It's always like that when there's really great players. Tiger,
Yeah, but not
people
that's different
kind of
than
hated him.
what her level is though. Her level is a pure on.
It's not
I
different.
mean,
It's just highlighted more. I mean,
those are you hate them because you know they've kicked your team's ass every year or whatever. You know,
right,
but would you want Tom? Would you want LeBron on your team? Absolutely. You know,
right.
but the just be from the day one of hating on Caitlyn and
Yeah,
totally been pro, Angel Reese. I mean, Angel Reese is, don't get me wrong, she's doing her, she's doing her shit right now. I mean, as a
yeah,
seventh pick coming out of college, that no one thought she was gonna do what she's doing now. I
yeah.
mean, she's doing it, she's rocking it, but it's just night and day of what Cheryl Swoops compares. Angel Reese versus Cece, and I just don't get it. I mean, and
Yeah, it's
someone else,
not fair. It's pretty ridiculous.
I think Shannon Sharp came out the other day and said, "Hey, there's all these, girls hating on, Caitlyn. It's just, just shut up and, live with it. It's just, I
Just
just don't
enjoy the show.
understand why. Yeah, I just don't understand why there's still so much hatred going on, towards Cece on it. So,
Yeah.
but yeah, so Cheryl Swoops again. I think this is probably her fourth time on my list. So
Judging by the way she is acting out with the things that she's saying, she's probably going to be on this list for the entirety of our show.
probably, and I just wonder if there's some. I don't know. Do you call it reverse racism? I mean, obviously she's a person of African American. Caitlin's white, but I mean, I don't know. It
I have
just
no idea.
there's a
I don't
lot
know
of
about any of
there's a
that.
lot there's a lot of hate. I can tell you that.
Yeah, I don't know about any of that. I think it's also, I mean, that probably plays a part in it. I think it's also, Cheryl Swoops was a great player, um, but I think she didn't get nearly the kind of recognition that Caitlin Clark is getting, and I think that rubs people the wrong way because I think they
Yeah,
feel I
yeah, but
did
no one
all
did
this
back
too.
then, though.
No, exactly. That's what I'm saying. Um, I think she has some sort of resentment. I think a lot of players do have a sort of resentment that the fact that this woman is getting all this attention for being great, and they were great in their time too, and didn't get that same kind of attention. But you shouldn't feel resentment towards it. It should be a great thing. Your league is getting way more recognition than it's ever gotten, and I mean, we'll see when it's all said and done. But arguably, Caitlin Clark's going to be better than all these players and have better careers than all these players, anyways. So
Yeah, yeah,
what are we hating on? I don't understand what the hate is for, possibly.
yeah. I just don't get it. I just don't understand. And then my other thing is the WNBA is should they be playing in bigger arenas? So like the Fever,
Yes.
they've been selling out Bainbridge. I think it's Bainbridge Arena
Yeah.
where the Pacers play, right? So um, and like the Aces, they play at the Michelob Center, which holds
Right.
I think like 10. Bainbridge I think holds 18. Why aren't you playing it at like Lucas Field, like they do for college basketball? College
Yeah.
basketball they play, and that thing holds what 83,000 people. You know,
Yeah.
why? I guess why are you limiting? And then even like Chicago, they're not playing at the United Center. Obviously, this week because you had the DNC convention. That's one thing, but why aren't you opening it up to bigger stadiums all
Yeah, but
around
they
versus?
don't do it for NBA. I mean, Sparks plays at crypto. So
Yeah, but I just think with you're trying to grow this game and you're trying to, you know, I mean, obviously the NBA, I mean, yeah, but the NBA, you're packing that thing out every night, right? No matter who it
right,
is, probably, right?
but they're not,
So,
going into bigger stadiums either. I mean, the
but
argument can be made.
they're also playing 82 games,
Right. Yeah. Yeah. No. Um.
where W is only playing 40. So they're playing half the amount of games.
Yeah.
But I mean, I just think that you're losing out on some. When you want to grow the game, you want ticket sales. You know, put that thing in Lucas Arena, or the stadium, or even in Texas. You could put that in the you know Texas Stadium. And see what that thing does.
Like the Cowboys
You
Stadium. Is that
know,
what you're talking about?
yeah, yeah.
Well, you can't do that now, anyways, because they're prepping the field for
Well,
football season.
now you got football, yeah, but I
Yeah.
mean, I just think that, but I mean, even Vegas, you have you know, you get the T-Mobile, arena right there,
Arena. Yeah.
or you had, the Raiders,
Allegiant.
stadium
Yeah.
right next to it too, yeah. So I just didn't I don't understand why you're kind of limiting yourself to a certain size, you know, if you're wanting to grow the game and if you're wanting to pack it out. So that's just my take on it. I would think that, if you build it, they will come. I mean, you're obviously building the league, so, you know, get as many people as you can there. You know, if you can
Yeah,
get 50,000 people at a basketball game, that's pretty crazy. You know,
yeah, but you're
so
again the same thing goes for NBA. They don't have big stadiums either, so and they have
yeah,
all the money in the world. You'd think they'd build massive ones, but it's probably an aspect of like trying to see the game too. You go too big, it's going to be difficult to see. It's because basketball court, in comparison of size to football and baseball fields, are
yeah, but like Iowa did
significantly
it last
smaller.
year. Right? Who did they play? I think it was their first game of the year. Um,
Right.
I think it was DePaul, I think it was. And they had what,
Yeah.
53,000, 55,000 people? You
Yeah.
know,
Yeah. No,
I
for
mean,
sure.
obviously you don't use the whole stadium. You're going to use probably,
Right.
part of the stadium or whatever. But I mean, yeah. I mean, if you're talking college basketball for Iowa, can, do it for, 50 plus thousand people. I
Yeah.
mean,
No,
you,
I get what you're
you don't
saying.
think, you don't think 80, 60 something thousand would go see the Fever play, you know,
I'm sure they would.
versus
I'm just
whoever.
saying you're gonna have to do a whole new stadium at that point.
Yeah,
And they're they're just now getting money, so it's gonna be a difficult thing. And the NBA never even did it, hasn't done it. So, and you would think they're basking in money. They would just build the biggest stadium in the world. But
the only thing though, like, yeah, but I mean, I guess the bigger this, you're right, the bigger the stadium, the less you're able to see, and then what kind of ticket prices are you paying for
you're paying a
a
thousand
family of
dollars to go see
four?
with a microscope or
Yeah,
binoculars in order to
so
see. So
I mean, it's more. I guess at that point, it's more the environment and the atmosphere and that
yeah,
whole thing of it. But
yeah.
um, so. There was another one that I had, and I just lost it. I know I'm gonna remember it once we get off. But yeah, those were my main ones that I had for got to be better. So, you got any ones?
I do. And this is biased because I watch them every day, but the Giants and specifically the coaches. I love Bob Melvin. I think he's a hell of a coach, but he has done some absolutely questionable things uh, this whole year throughout, and I don't understand it. And then also front office, I can talk about Farhan all day, and I won't. But front office, they're saying we want to make a playoff push. We trade Jorge Soler so we can get Marco Luciano at bats, and then we send him down. That doesn't make any sense to me. Um, I think right now, for whatever reason, our organization is in a weird shambles situation, and I don't know why. We're huge market, historic franchise, and there seems to be some weird disconnect about what path we're trying to go, um, and the way that we're going about it. So I would say San Francisco Giants need to be better, and not a play situation. Play needs to be better too, but it's just about what the goal is. Are we trying to win a championship? Are we trying to rebuild? Are we trying to give younger guys at bats? Are we trying to get new guys? I don't understand what we're doing here. It's just all over the
Well,
place.
I think you're gonna lose Blake Snell because I think he's gonna opt out and go free agency
Well,
again.
yeah, yeah, he was always going to go,
I
but yeah,
think I saw something that you guys want to sign Matt Chapman for a long-term deal, which I would
yeah.
be. I mean, obviously he's having a good season for you guys, but is he the future? Is he the current? Is he,
I
you
think
know,
it's like
I've
a
al- I've always been critical of you guys just because, especially like at the trade deadline, it's like, what are you guys doing? Are you gonna get off the pot, or you guys gonna go all in, or you just kind of, you know, see what
well. This
you
is what I
guys
mean.
do with a bunch of no-namers? And it's like, because even like when Gabe was there a couple years back, it's just like, I think you guys overachieved, so you guys, you know, I think that kind of hurts you because then you're not going out and picking up free agents, and just everyone's having career years. But when those normal average players don't have a career year, then it's just like what you said. What are you doing? Sending guys up and down. We're just you know, are we going youth? Are we rebuilding? Are we trying to win this year? It's just I don't know. I've never liked your guys' message for the last few years, at least, on
No,
what
and
you
it's a
guys are
Farhan
doing.
issue.
You know,
Um, and
so
and I think I've seen enough of him for the last few years. I think he needs to go. He's clearly doesn't know. He's maintaining stability so that he doesn't get fired. But he needs to go. And I'm critical of Bob because he's just making poor decisions about a lot of things, like pinch hitting guys, bringing guys in from the bullpen, and it's costing us games. And it's just our situational at bats, and like we're having Tyler Fitzgerald bunt in extra innings, no outs with a runner on second, even though he's been our best hitter and is hitting over 300 and has 15 home runs. But the game before, Mikey Shremsky, who's hitting 220, in the same situation against the Atlanta Braves in a crucial series too, when we were a game and a half back, he lets Mike swing away, but doesn't make him bunt. I don't understand what I just don't understand what the concept is of this kind of stuff. Like, what are we doing here as this organization? Just like all over
I
the
would
place.
I would almost think in that situation that you're bunting no matter what. You got to get that runner over to third, even if you have your 300 hitter. You got to get that guy over to third,
Okay,
and
that's fine.
hopefully you
That's
get
fine.
someone to back him up. I don't know.
That's fine. But if you're gonna do that, make the guy who's hitting 220 bunt also.
Oh yeah.
That sends
Yeah.
a
No,
really
I mean,
shit message if you're
yeah.
letting him swing away and then you're making him bunt and then he doesn't get the bunt down, he gets out. And
Well,
so,
I guess that's part of the message. Are you playing small ball or are you not playing small ball? Are you manufacturing or are you trying to, hit the big, inning with the home runs?
that's what I'm saying. I
It's
just
like,
don't know what the
you
direction
know,
is for anything regarding
but
our team right
that's
now. It's
your
just all over the
problem
place.
because you have, you know, you got your GM, but then you also have a veteran, even though this is his first year. But Bob Melvin's not like a rookie coach.
He knows better. Yeah, he knows
So
better.
yeah,
That's what I'm saying.
so I
He's got to be
mean,
better.
you know, there's, yeah, he's been around a while, so
Yeah.
you know, but I guess given him what the tools that you give him, he's also coming from a San Diego where he's had a ton of, players to
And
choose
they weren't
from.
good, though.
But, I don't know. It's I've never liked the direction. I've never liked your guys' message. I've always just kind of like, what are you guys doing? And that definitely comes from the front office. So,
Yeah, well, you got to go back to what we were best at, which our ballpark is not a good hitter ballpark. Guys are not going to hit 40 home runs in that ballpark because we don't have Barry anymore. So get back to pitching and defense. Our defense still sucks, not named Matt Chapman. Our pitching is good, so that's fine. Our starters are good, so that's all good. But if we're trying to make a push and we have guys who have opportunities to hit, I was critical of Soler because he wasn't doing much. But if you're making a playoff push and you want to get to it, why would you trade him and then say you're going to give at bats to a rookie who is fine? If you want to do that, give him a shot. I'm for it. But then you send him down a month later. That makes no sense to me.
yeah.
That just makes no sense to me. So it's just the Giants. They're just a pain in the ass to watch. So and just them in general. But that's it. There's my vent. That's my rant. Even though they're winning right now,
Jeez.
that's my rant. I hate watching them.
All right. Anything else? All
No,
right, you
I'm
spent it
done.
all.
I'm
um,
done.
I wish I could. I, I know I'm going to remember it after we get done, but I knew I had
Between
another
Cheryl
one.
Swoops and the San Francisco
Um,
Giants, I think we're both pissed off
yeah,
enough.
just and the Cheryl Swoops was just new. That one I saw tonight, and it was just like, Jesus, what are you doing?
Like I said, she's gonna probably
Um,
become a theme on this podcast. It sounds like. So she just keeps
yeah.
saying stuff.
Um, so, but yeah. All right. If you got anything else? Anything else to wrap it up?
No,
I think that's it.
that's it.
Okay. All right, guys. It was a quick one. When we come back, we'll be talking about we'll be talking about week one of NFL after that, right?
We
So,
sure will. Yeah.
and then we'll definitely be talking about more, baseball and definitely who's out, probably within 2 weeks or so.
Yeah.
And then we'll have the tennis and golf and updates. So, all right, guys. That's all we got. Peace out.